Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the Eachine Micro Skyhunter FPV. I'm gonna quit talking and we're gonna open up the box and see what's going on inside. This is what the first layer of the box looks like. As you can see, everything is packaged nice and tight. Here are the parts and pieces in this box. As you can see, it looks like we've got the tail boom as well as the wings. In this box, we've got the prop and the main fuse. At the bottom of the box, we have our stickers, as well as the instruction manual. Alright guys, we have everything right here on this screen for you to look at that comes inside the box. Alright, so there is the horizontal stabilizer. We've got the fuse right there. We've got the tail boom, along with the prop sitting on it. We have the wings, as well as a plastic spar that goes in between them. And we've got the stickers. Now, since we've got the wings right there, I wanted to show you that they come, everything that comes with the servo, it is pre-installed and attached, which is nice with a 5-gram servo. Alright, so speaking of putting things together, I am going to put this together, and when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the fuse and all those components. Alright guys, this is what it looks like all put together. Overall, the build was pretty simple and easy to do even without instructions. It was nice to apply the stickers myself instead of having it all bubbled up like a lot of my recent planes, which were already applied and just didn't look very good. I'm kind of OCD, so I like my stuff to look as good as it can, especially out of the box. I mean, we buy brand new stuff for a reason, right? Alright, so one other thing that I didn't really know beforehand, it requires glue. Luckily I had some glue on hand, so that wasn't a big deal. But it did require glue, as well as some screws. And those were supplied. So mostly glue and screw. And it did take some effort to get the prop on. Luckily I had a prop fastener tool. Let me just show you that right here. This is basically like a quadcopter motor, so I just used a quad prop installation and removing tool to get that on. So there you go, and here's a closer look at this here. Alright guys, well, we've got this thing up here. I'm going to show you the canopy. There's a quick snapshot of the inside the battery bay right there. We'll circle back to that here in a second, but I want to show you this. This is actually quite cool. I've got the magnet that magnetizes onto that. Cool. Now, let's say that you're done doing line of sight and you want to add an FPV unit to it, a quality FPV unit to it. Pop that off, just push that up right there. That magnetizes right there. And right here, we've got a platform set for FPV. Got the screws and holes. Then you can add your quality FPV camera and setup and VTX, all that stuff. I think this is awesome, guys. I really do. Overall, for the price, everything, I'll get in the pros and cons later and overall summary, but really, you really can't beat this price. Check the link in the description for the price. I got this from Banggood.com, just so you know. And right here, we'll take a look inside the battery bay. A couple things. One, I still need to tape this up. Still in the process of all this stuff, but set the receiver in there. Set the wings on there. I will show you the prop and the control surfaces moving here shortly. But the place where you mount the receiver in there, it slides backwards and forwards so you can adjust the CG accordingly. I'm going to have to make sure I get stuff pushed back a little bit to make sure I get the CG right. It seems a touch nose heavy. I may also add just a little extra reinforcing glue to the tail section. That way, it balances out a little bit more too. So I've got a little more flexibility and not be flying nose heavy. But yeah, coming back, we are going to show you the prop spinning and the control surfaces moving. Alright guys, now we're going to do a quick little control surfaces demonstration. Of course, there are the ailerons. Right here we've got the elevator. Now I've got these at 100%. They're in high rates, no expo, no anything. And when I fly it, I'm probably going to tame the ailerons down to 70% and probably the elevator down to 80%, 'cause from what I have heard and seen, it needs just a little extra throw compared to the ailerons, because obviously the ailerons are very, very responsive, and that's how I'm going to roll. Alright, coming up next, we're going to do a quick little throttle test. Okay, so first thing I want to say is please be very careful with this, guys. This is a very powerful little engine. There's not really much or any protection, so be careful. Now when you're working on it, you just like a quadcopter or a drone, you want to make sure you take off the prop. I didn't mention that earlier because I didn't show you the build, but while I was building it, I made sure that the prop was off and that I was away from getting any potential harm to myself. Alright, with that being said, we're going to give this a little bit of throttle. It is a very powerful motor, so I'm not going to take it up much past 40 or 50% because I don't want to irritate my neighbors. But here we go. Now that was about 45%. And as you can see in here, this thing has a lot of power, and this is going to scoot. Okay guys, let's wrap this thing up with some quick pros and cons. The first pro is its price. It is inexpensive. You get a lot of bang for your buck. And check the link in the description. That way you know the current price. As far as the build goes, that's another pro. It's very uncomplicated, very straightforward. Even though you had to use glue and it did not have instructions, still was not that big of a deal. And I absolutely hate building things. Another big thing is being able to apply your own decals. It was cool to see the bare foam go from what it was to what it is, and without the bubbles or anything like that. Now, not everything is perfectly symmetrical, but it's still way better than it would have been or has been on my latest planes and such, and it was nice to be able to handle that myself, and if there was a problem, I could accept that blame myself. So there's that. Now as far as the cons go, I really didn't like not having instructions. It wasn't a huge thing because it was pretty straightforward really, and a quick little YouTube video search definitely helped clear up any questions. But still, it would be nice to have instructions. Even though this thing is inexpensive, it would still be nice to have some sort of something as reference. And the little sheet that was provided, only thing that was good for is to provide the center of gravity information. Alright, another con is having to use glue. Even though, like I said, the build wasn't a big thing, I still hate having to use glue. It can be messy, you can get it on things. I didn't, but that can be a hazard using glue. Alright, with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and GB Linden out.